Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Continuing from last week, looking at the YK, the yakusoku kumite of Seidokan. We have the 11. So last week I talked a little bit about Ichiban, number one, the angle of the step, the kata version with the block and the punch, then adding the use of hikite, adding the strike before the punch, setup, so on. We're going to look today at a variety, how it can be used against other attacks outside of the punch and take it a little bit more street, if you will. So the first thing, and I may have mentioned this last week, just a touch, may have gone over this last week, but we practice big, but we apply small. And I was just talking to class tonight, this from the elbow position, I don't want to pull my elbow out to block because that just opens me and leaks energy and creates targets. I want to go from here, if I'm in a guard, hey, please don't hit me position, from this angle that you see here to here is all in the rotation of my elbow, radius, and ulna. The muscles involved in that, the biceps, actually initiate rotation to go outward. And you can just do this and you can feel your muscle move just with the rotation. But that rotation and snap combined with his incoming blow as a street punch, if it were, right? Plenty. Especially if I add a good solid base. So if I'm taking Ichiban, Seidokan Yakusoku 1, to the street, and he's throwing that, I settle, grab and punch, grab the head and punch, grab the head and punch through, whatever I'm going to grab. Again, he may not leave this hand out. Now, if he's more boxer oriented and he throws the cross, it doesn't have the incoming impact, the force multiplier of directional impact, but it's still snap, snap. And I definitely want this one here. If he's throwing the street haymaker, I may not need this one because that will take care of it as I come in, pull and punch. If he's throwing this one, that's where I need what I demonstrated last week. So we add that concept. Two other attacks which kind of change the paradigm a little bit. In the kata seisan, we step forward, which is where this technique is derived from. The direction that you move in the kata is not necessary, and some people argue with me on this, but the direction that I move in the kata has less to do with what direction I should move in application than some people think. Reason being, I have to adapt to this guy's attack. He doesn't always give me room to step forward. Sometimes my flinch response takes me back. The direction in which the movement is applied, yes, but the direction of stepping, that's entirely determined by the geography and what's known as the embusen of the kata. So don't get caught up in, oh, do I step forward or back? Because the kata says, what direction the kata says to step is not important, but the angle at which the kata places you relative to your opponent is. In my opinion, based on plenty of research, you can look back to all the writing, all of that. Okay, so let's say he's got a clubby. Now this is in the adjunct video that I also posted, not the Seidokan Saturday one, but the montage of clips from what I taught in Okinawa. If we do the karate style attack, he's in kutsudachi, hey, and he steps forward with a wide swinging club, hey, okay, that's great. We can start with that as again, a semi-kata variation, but how's that swing more likely to occur? Yeah. So, the main advantage of any weapon other than a knife is its reach and range. I don't care if you're talking spear, scud missile, bow and arrow, club, it's his reach. If I get out of reach as he hits me, his advantage is gone, okay? But if I can, and I love this term that an instructor stuck in my head, says flinch forward. Flinch is a natural reaction, but we have to teach ourselves to flinch forward. So I'm starting trying to keep a safe distance, but the minute he makes that attack, I have to flinch forward. And then here I am. And again, I'm going to attack biceps. I may give him the short punch. Now this time, I'm not just going to grab, I'm going to wrap that arm as I come in with my punch. A punch exists on a continuum From here to here, it's urazuki. I continue forward, it's tatezuki. I complete the rotation, it's chokozuki, okay? Or seiken. So which one of those do I use? If we go back to Chotoku Kian's teaching, I use whatever shape and position of fist is accommodated by where I am relative to my attacker. So yes, the technique in the kata version, but it doesn't have to be this punch, because if I'm in close and it's truncated, and trying to turn my fist here is just going to weaken me. So I punch strong from the position and the range for which I'm working. Now we can add, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but now we can add, if I don't want to punch here, I can punch high and make it a biceps bump, which leads me beautifully into tayotoshi or some other hip throw variant that you want to do. Okay, so that's an adaptation. Oh, just keep that. So remember, from here, if he's doing street club, I don't have much time. My reaction has to be flinch speed, like a knee-jerk reflex, but forward. Wrap, finish as you will, okay? Last one as an adaptation, and we could go on with these forever, but the idea here is to give you concepts and then let you be the artist and make the painting the way you want. So these are not techniques per se, but ideas of how to take the kata version of Ichiban and then you pick. So I've changed, last week we looked at how to change the actual movement. Right now we're looking at how to change the attacker to street level reality. So we did the jab, we did the cross, the boxer style, we did the street haymaker, we did the club, street style. One other thing that very likely may happen is, I don't want to fight. He will grab my wrist and clear a path for his punch, okay? Or even if my hands are down, he may grab my wrist like he's going to pull in and do whatever he's going to do. So in this case, when he does this, my block becomes this, just moving out. Now, can I turn my palm all the way? No, I can't. I'm trying to, but his friggin' wrist's in the way. But I have created a nice juicy barbecue ribs, and I'm gonna create some barbecue sauce, okay? If he grabs the other hand, I just block it out here. I wanna make sure, notice what happens with his body. If I just do this and he's still on, he's hitting me. So when I do this, I want his body to be affected. He still may swing that hand, but I'm going to beat him to the proverbial and literal punch with that. So working off wrist grabs, here, wrist grab, here, sidearm club, here, and we're using that same template of the kata version of yakusoku Ichiban. The last concept of that, which I'll let you look at the other video for, I'm not going to continue on this vein because you can do this on your own pretty much. The last concept is once I've done this and I've done the entry, as I did with the club, now we can go into throws. We can use atemiwaza, tuibi, or nagewaza, or a combination of the three. That is, after I've hit him, I can hit him again, ad infinitum, right? This would be an American Kempo type of a situation. He throws the punch, boom, 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 and I'm just hitting repeatedly as long as he's here. And if I'm moving him, then I've got to chase him, but I'm still hitting. That would be an atemiwaza, striking continuously. When we do that, we want to think of targets of opportunity and least amount of wasted motion. So we're not doing this back and forth drum technique from Karate Kid 2, but we're striking from where we are to whatever's most readily convenient. Tweedy waza, right? Again, if we do the cross wrist and I go here, from there, we can go into Tweedy techniques, whatever you want to do there. Or nagewaza, as I showed with the tayotoshi, the throw on the club. So extending beyond the punch into whatever follow-ups suit your particular fighting style, preference bent. Okay, thanks, sir. That's it for today's Seidokan Saturday. That concludes Ichiban from kata to bunkai and extension applications conceptually. Next week we move to Niban, Seidokan Yakusoku number 2. Until next week, thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, share, but mostly, as always, let's keep practicing.